Hello, everybody. I think my mic is on. Let me check real quick because I'm a little sleepy right now, so bear with me. Whew. Yeah, weather extra. All right, what graphic do I have up right now? I don't even know. Let's go storm reports. Last night, line of storms moved in. We knew that the storms would be strongest when they moved into northwest Alabama, and then they would probably weaken a bit and then become more of a rain situation with some gusty winds. So far, cue the good forecast, it's worked out well. I put the storm reports up from last night. The little blue, the light blue there you see is wind reports. I call it the dark blue with like a little zipper thing. That's thunderstorm damage winds. And then the little speckle things that look like snow is hail, larger hail. The one color you don't see here is red. It's buried in Mississippi in some of the icons, but there's so many of them, it's ridiculous. It's all part of a frontal boundary that finally moved into our area. And what's happened is the storms themselves that produced probable tornadoes haven't been surveyed yet by the National Weather Service. So when they get surveyed, which will happen sometime today, I would imagine that we're going to get some confirmation that there were tornadoes last night. I would imagine they're going to go to Florence, Tuscumbia, Sheffield, and the Shoals and count that all as one. They're going to probably go to Rogersville, and they're probably going to go to Ardmore, and they're probably going to go to Fayetteville in northern Lincoln County. They might go to Jackson County near Section, and they may go to New Hope as well. I think the bottom two there are probably a reach, but the other four certainly could do it. So. Uh-oh. I must be in big trouble. I don't have any comments, not one. I know, people must be really ticked off at me. So, but the storms themselves, Tatiana in the house helping out, by the way, too, which helped me get the page loaded up, which is fantastic. So storms themselves pretty much winding down. Let me show the radar. So I talked about all the storm reports with the severe weather. There was confirmed tornadoes with some of the tornado warnings last night. We had a rogue tornado warning pop up in Jackson County by about like 2:15. There was one in New Hope like around 1:30. But most of the tornado warnings were associated with that first initial line that moved into far northwest Alabama during the evening hours. And then when Chelsea went to air at 10 o'clock for the newscast, that's kind of when things broke. We tag teamed the coverage, and then the tornado warnings got pushed back, and there was just severe thunderstorm warnings. And that was when we switched and she went home, and then I took over. And that was about 1 o'clock. Now what we have is rainfall. We have numerous reports of flash flooding. We have numerous reports of flood warnings. We have numerous reports of flood watches. I don't care at this point what the flood criteria is. We've had rainfall of 2 to 4 inches for most locations. We're adding another 1 to 2. And what you have here now is mainly rainfall, but there's still some lightning and thunder for areas far southeast. When we were on air this morning, the cloud to ground lightning was absolutely jaw-dropping on some of the cameras, and I could see it so easily. The rainfall itself coming down heavy at times, and we still had some very loud thunder too that was shaking and rattling the building here. Many of you were telling me that at home that happened to you. The rainfall for far northwest locations has backed off a bit. I think as we progress through the rest of the morning and afternoon, it's still going to be persistent rainfall, but probably what you see is what you get the rest of the day. And what I mean by that is where the rain is, that's where the rain will continue. Where the rain's not raining, you're going to probably stay mainly dry and just cloudy and cooler, right? So I hope that helps. Hey, Bill Beck, I got your message. I didn't get to respond back, and I apologize, my friend, but yeah, there was a trailer park out in the Shoals that had some damage, and there was some injuries there. And Bill Beck letting me know Bill had some bad flooding with the last couple of storms that we had. I think it was 2 severe weather events ago. And he said he felt very thankful for this one, that he didn't have as much damage, which is good. Hi, Liz. Good morning. Hi, Allison. Good morning. Hi, Katie. Thank you for the update. You're welcome. Did I get a hi, how dare you? Is that what I saw? I don't know what that's all about. OG, Jesse Martin. Everybody so. Monique says, I'm without power in Lexington. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate that. Judy says, good job. Bill Beck praying for everybody. Power outages in Ardmore. Let me address that too. Last night at one point in the Rogersville area, we had like 2,000 people without power. Ardmore, there was trees on power lines. Power outages in Ardmore. I checked Florence. Last I checked, there was 612 people without, 6,012 without power, which is about almost 10 to 10.5% of the actual people that Florence covers. So there was numerous power outages last night. Chris Strickland, I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for staying up late last night. It kept everyone safe. We lost your signal on the streaming app. On the TV, it went to an alternate news source, and then the Facebook Live was having some trouble issues. Yes, and I've addressed that, and Tatiana and I have talked this morning, yes. And Tatiana's like, yep, we're going to take care of it. It's all good. We'll make it work. Steven, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, sponsored by a Monster Energy drink. Yeah, I've had a few cups of coffee and stuff, but I feel pretty good, actually. I actually didn't go to bed because I was at the Pandas game. I don't know if I should admit this. They were down 5-0 when I left. They ended up falling down 6-0. They came back and won, but I wasn't there for the end of the game because when the storm started to move into Northwest Rhode Island, I knew I had to get Northwest Alabama, and I knew I had to get back home and I had to get ready to come into work. And so fast I got into work, I forgot to bring a tie. That's why I was tieless on air this morning. And yeah, so we went ahead and raced back, and I didn't get to see the big trash panda come back, but I felt much better that I came to work to help people know what was going on with the weather, and that meant more. Bill Beck, Hawk Pride Mountain does not have power. There's another one without power, and these power outages, I would imagine when the rain moves out, there's not that much wind behind it. I would think the power outages, depending on how extensive the damage is, be able to get back up and running, but obviously not my job, and they do a great job. But I remember somebody was talking, and there was so many people on Facebook last night. And for some of you, I was cross-posting on my page and 48's page, and I was commenting back, responding back to the comments on my page, and then somebody got really mad at me that I wasn't answering them back on 48. When I'm live for like a tornado warning, I'm not streaming anymore. I'm actually at the green screen, so I can't see the comments. And then when I went back to my page, I was commenting to the ones that were on my page. And then we had another tornado warning, and I had to go back up again. And a lot of people were getting mad that I wasn't answering them, but I can only do so much. So I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to answer on Facebook, and I should have maybe pulled up the 48 page instead of my own. I just was trying to get coverage. That's all I was trying to do. I was trying to cross-post the best I could. Thank you, Karen. You're the best. Appreciate that. Hi, good morning, Dwayne. Good to see you. Vacation Valerie in the house. Vacation Valerie, I haven't felt like I talked to you enough lately, but it's good to see you on. I'm just going to leave the radar up there. It tells the story of what's happening. I'll track some graphics here for just a moment for you. Hi, Leanne. Good morning from Russellville. Thank you. You're very welcome. Michelle Ann, a loud night, she says. I got a little sleep. Yeah, those thunderstorms, I mean, weather, that's the one thing you got to remember. Lightning, how loud the thunder is, how heavy the rain is, that's not a criteria for severe weather. So severe thunderstorms are only classified by winds in excess of 58 miles an hour, a tornado, or large hail in 1-inch diameter, okay? I can tell you right now that some of the highest stress anxiety may not come from some of those other severe events, tornadoes obviously, but how many of you have anxiety of thunderstorms and then you get that loud rumble of thunder that rocks your home, or you see the lightning outside on the night when it just lights up everything, right? I mean, that creates anxiety too. Sometimes heavy rainfall does as well. And I get it, everyone has their own threshold. So I don't care if the storms are severe or not, but if they're loud, bright, and wet, they can be just as scary. Obviously, maybe not cause as much damage, but still can be a personal issue for yourself. That happens a lot. I tried to talk about that this morning, but I appreciate that, Javier. I can't say that one out loud, that comment, but it's very nice. I appreciate it. It's good stuff. Brought a smile to my face, so that's awesome. Jill Holland, hi. I have been up all night. I haven't slept yet, but I'm gonna go take the longest nap I've taken in my entire life when I leave here, and I'm okay. I'm doing fine. I had a lot of coffee. I'm ready to go. Sarah says, we all sleeping, LOL, are saving battery on our phones, right? I totally get it. It's probably why everyone's like, ugh, I was up all night with the storms. I don't need to talk to Jeff Desnoyers right now, that's for sure. Chris Lee says, how's Rainsville? It's wet and raining right now in Rainsville, which is very fitting. But the storms are not severe. There's no more, the severe weather threat is over, just so everybody knows. I'm sure everybody figured that out by now. Dwayne, thanks for keeping us updated. Yeah, Dwayne, I appreciate that. It's very nice. Dwayne and I have become good friends the last couple of days. We've talked because poor Dwayne lives in Giles County, which is not that he lives in Giles County. Giles County is a great place. But he does not like thunderstorms and gets very upset about tornado warnings and tornado watches, and literally on the cusp of tornado watches every day in Giles County since Wednesday. Not necessarily widespread severe weather there, has kind of missed Giles for the most part, but there was still that anticipation that there could be something, right? And I tried to help out with the forecast the best I could. A double shot of espresso, Bill Bag. Yes. It should be live today. I should be out by you having a double espresso and hanging out with you, my friend. But yeah, I don't know. What time was I? Yeah, I came into work at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So yeah, I've been up since 2 on Saturday. 30 hours. Not bad. Monique, funny you said Rhode Island. I was born there. I used to work there. I was a chief in Providence. So a lot of times we'd have snow. We'd say Northwest Rhode Island, far Northwest Rhode Island. And then sometimes I catch myself on air and I'll say it. And instead of Northwest Alabama, I'll say Rhode Island. It's just natural. But where were you from in there, Monique? You can let me know. I actually lived in Mystic, Connecticut, but I worked in Providence. I would drive 50 hours. Oh, man, I'm awake, Dave. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to mow the lawn when I get home. No, I did that yesterday, the day before. But I hope the dogs are okay. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Monica, weather for the market at Mid-City. It's raining most of the day today. Some heavy rain in the morning. Could still have some rumbles of thunder in the afternoon. The rain doesn't completely back off until evening hours tonight. So no severe weather, though. Much cooler. Lachey, I hope I have that right. And thank you so much for such a kind comment. And Lachey, I hope I have that correctly. If I'm not, yell at me, okay? Yell at me. Rhonda, thank you. Thank you to everybody. It's awesome. Oh, Candace, we didn't forget about Hodges last night. That is entirely not true. We actually were talking about Hodges and Vina quite a bit when that second cell, not the first one, but the second one came through. And we even updated you on your power outages when you had some power outages too. Definitely not the forgotten area. I feel like I cover Red Bay more than I cover anybody else in that area because I try to make sure I have extra attention to Franklin County so somebody doesn't write something like that. It doesn't matter how many times you talk about it, it's not enough. Carrie says, how's the flooding up there coming from Auburn, coming from Auburn to Decatur? I would be very concerned probably on your initial drive from Auburn into Decatur. By the time you get to Decatur, probably not as bad flash flooding. Rivers and streams are still going to rise through tonight, but as you leave Auburn in the plains, you're going to probably hit some of the heaviest of rainfall you're going to hit in the entire initial part of the drive if you leave like right now. And that's where you could have some flash flooding. Is the weather going to clear out by 12, Amanda says? Probably not. Depends on where you are. It's a very generic question. If you live in northwest Alabama, you probably will be drier than if you live like southeastern, like our viewing area, like in Gunnersville. So I would need a location. Unfortunately, a lot of times the forecast isn't cut and dry for everybody. It's not the same forecast, so I would need more. Window rattling thunder, Dwayne says. Yes, that's for sure. Beverly says, good morning from Rainsville, Alabama. Beautiful Rainsville, which I absolutely love. I know that area very well. Michelle says, my fur babies do get anxiety with the storms. Yeah, my pups did not have a good night last night. Rubble and Sky, Rubble especially, he can't stand the storms. Hi, Dio from PC, good to see you. Hope all is well. Sure, I don't know. That's a personal thing. If you get more worked up about the storms now, nothing's really changed about it. We still give the same forecast that we did 20 years ago. Probably a more accurate forecast now too. So it's gotten better, though people probably don't believe me when I say that, but it has. I've been in the industry for 20 years. The technology has gotten a lot better, especially this Barron product that we have here. It's freaking awesome. Power lines in Athens just sparked up. Okay. And it's been rough. Where am I going? Angie. Heavy rain, thundering, and lightning in Dutton. Also, thanks for keeping us informed. You're welcome, Angie. There's the rainfall in Huntsville coming down pretty heavy. I was just outside a little while ago, got soaked for a second, but big puddles on the highway at this point, just some ponding going on. So the flash flooding was allowed to expire at 8 a.m., so there's no more green, but there are flood watches, meaning that there's like rivers and streams are going to continue to rise as we go into the afternoon. Even when the rain tapers off a bit, the runoff will continue at least through tomorrow morning. It will still be an issue. I would imagine that areas that are prone to flooding, like areas in and around Paint Rock, will probably have some flooding. So this graphic right here is your daily forecast the rest of the day. And again, it's a generic forecast. If you are northwest, you'll have a less chance of rain. If you are anywhere along I-65 and east, a little bit better chance. It keeps the threat for thunderstorms into the afternoon, but I almost feel like it's just going to be turning into more of a rain event as we go in the afternoon. But could you still hear a rumble of thunder and have some lightning in the afternoon? You could. I think the last of the showers will end this evening. Your temperatures fall back mid-40s, much cooler when you wake up tomorrow on Monday. There'll be a lot of cloud cover for your Monday, but by the afternoon, you should get into some sunshine. It's going to be a chilly day. We are breaking daily high temperature records Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The high in Huntsville on Friday was 89 degrees. We don't even sniff 60 tomorrow. Tuesday, 50s, 60s on Wednesday, but that Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning will be quite chilly. Temperatures in the 30s. Those of you who have tried to plant something and it may be vulnerable to the cold, we always tell you to wait till the middle of April, but if you are a go-getter and you wanted to start your gardens with those warm temperatures last week, the night when it gets to 37, Monday night into Tuesday, if you planted something in the garden that is vulnerable to cold, right, and you want to protect it, you don't have anything to cover it with, take some water, put it around the base of the plant itself. The water will help retain the heat in the soil, and it will prevent the soil around the plant from dropping back to freezing if the temperature drops that much, and therefore it will save your plant, and you won't have to worry about losing it. I got it. Thank you. I'm terrible with names sometimes, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, Newport. Newport's beautiful, Monique. Very beautiful, actually. The mansions are awesome. They're just so gorgeous there. Rain going to be out? I don't think so, Ethan. I think rain lingers throughout the day today. I don't think this is like cut and dry out of here really fast. I think there'll be times when there's maybe not rain falling on your head at that moment, but rain remains in the forecast through the afternoon, so especially in Huntsville. So, thank you for the update. You're welcome. No, Neil, I don't have any severe weather in the forecast today. It's just leftover rain. In fact, in your area, Tuscumbia, you have a higher chance of actually remaining dry the rest of the day, where your rainfall will be more scattered or light. Areas east of you will have a better chance of rain. I'll pop the 10-day forecast up so you can see it, everybody. Hi, Pamela from Newmarket. Same forecast as everybody else. You'll have some rain. Well, I shouldn't say everybody else. I just got done saying how it's different. But in Newmarket, you are essentially east of I-65 is what I meant, so you will keep the rainfall. If you're west of I-65, you have a less of a chance of keeping rainfall this afternoon. If you're on I-65, we'll call it 50-50. Chantel, thank you so much. Oh, you're very welcome. Hi, Renee. In Trinity, it's still raining, but a bit slowly down. Yeah, that's a good point. The radar is starting to back off for areas to the west, but still raining for most locations. And they don't have as much thunder and lightning anymore, too. The lightning strikes have backed off considerably. We had I think when I went on air at 5 there, in the area that we forecast for, we had about, I think it was 162. And then by the time I got done with the cut-ins a little while ago, we were down to 35. So it's a big difference. Any flooding concerns in our area or in Gunnersville? Yep, there is, Cassie. There's probably going to be some river and stream flooding. I think the flash flooding for your area is probably not going to happen now. I think we're good with that. But definitely some flooding on the rivers and streams at this point. The rainfall is still persistent through the day. The heaviest of rain behind us, though, at this point. Thank you, William, for the update. Henniger still has some thunder or lightning. Yep, that is still happening. That was on the radar. Hi, Joppa, Alabama. You'll have rain too today. I'm going to go back to the radar so you all can see it because you're all giving me updates. I should be able to just go forward. I don't know why it does that. No, go forward. There we go. So there's the radar. Still have some showers and thunderstorms. The thunderstorms, if you're going to have thunder, probably be for areas east. Probably hear some thunder and lightning. The cell in Henniger, it's not really on top of you. It's actually, you hear distant thunder that's in Georgia right now, and you hear, if you can still see the lightning with daylight, it's to the east of you. Sherry says the rain has slowed down a lot in Decatur. Yeah, that heavy downpour has pretty much moved east of you. Decatur, kind of southeast Decatur towards Priceville may have a little bit more moderate rain, but if you're northwest or southwest Decatur, probably more in the way of light rainfall. Let me get back in the circle. Starting to lean back a little too far. Candace is on. Renee says thumbs up, which is great. I love thumbs up. Flat Rock. What about Flat Rock and Sand Mountain? Just some rain today, Rhonda. Yep. Continue through the afternoon, especially for your area in Flat Rock. You get the rain all day. Like, the more east you are, the longer the rain sticks around. The more west you are, less of a chance of rain. I-65 west, less chance. I-65 east, more of a chance. I-65, 50-50. Neely, Joyce. Thank you, Joyce. I appreciate that. Renee says, it's cooling down. Yay. It is. There's some chilly temperatures early next week. It's going to be a shock to the system. 80s to near 90 and then 50s. Like Monday and Tuesday, like, where'd that come from? It's not from this front, too. This front that's moving through that triggered the showers and storms, it drops the temperature today and we're in the 60s. But there's another cold front up in Canada that's going to swing down here really fast. And that's what brings the colder air in and doesn't bring any precipitation. It just brings a shot of cooler air in. Hi, Jeff. I missed that comment. Jeff, are you from Mystic, where the movie Mystic Pizza was named after? Yes. Well, I grew up in a small town called Niantic, Connecticut, which is not far from there, but I lived in a house before I moved here. The home I owned was in Mystic, Connecticut. And yes, Julia Roberts was in Mystic Pizza. And there's a funny story about that. So Mystic Pizza has really good pizza, but the downtown Mystic Pizza one is a little pricey because of that. But there were two brothers, and they didn't get along, and so his brother went and opened up Mystic Pizza 2, and it was in the other part of Mystic, and they're rivals now, yes. But their pizzas are really good. Just one's more expensive than the other. Linda, thank you. You're very welcome. Good to see you on. Rhiannon, just started here in Madison. What's the day looking like, please? Rainy, showers. Might get a little break in Madison for a little while, but I think there's persistent showers that will linger into the afternoon. It goes from thunderstorms to like a cooler rain in the 60s, and the showers will continue into the evening. Probably not like an all-day event for you in Madison, but there's going to still be some showers and a lot of cloud cover and a big temperature change today. Saturday was your better day to get outside than today, unless you don't mind rainfall. Pam, you're welcome. Hi, Baylor. It's still raining in Huntsville. Yeah, it's going to keep raining. Yeah. It's not going to move out. I think a lot of people felt like the rain was going to come to an end this morning and it was all going to be better in the afternoon, but there's still prolonged showers throughout the day today, everybody. Again, unless you're like far western areas. Molly says, how's Birmingham looking? I have family that live in Hueytown. Birmingham has some pretty heavy rain right now, and they'll keep rainfall for most of the day there. Thank you, Michelle. Vivi, what's up? I see you on. Did you just say Oreo cookie brownie cheesecake? We'll just call that OCBC is what we'll call it, because I can't say all those words at one time right now. It's good, though. Sounds yummy. And anyone know where the tornado-warned storm in Limestone County was last night? When the sirens went off several times, all the news wanted to talk about was Lauderdale County. That is entirely not true, Anna, and I know that for a fact because I was here covering it, and I talked about your area extensively on air. You have to turn to the right station. That would help. But there was tornadoes near Ardmore. There was tornadoes in Rogersville, and we were covering all of Lauderdale into Limestone when the tornado warnings were added to Limestone. We even addressed Limestone County numerous times to let you know that the tornado warnings had been dropped out of Limestone when the storm moved into Madison County. So you might want to try to find the station that covers your area better. Candy, that is cool. I love that movie. How funny. Yep. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Appreciate the nice comments. And yes, good. Get some rest. And that on that note, normally I stick around to almost 9 o'clock, but got to wrap this up a little sooner today because I got to get some sleep. And any questions that you have, feel free to shoot us an email or send me a message. Other than that, we're good to go. Just tracking the rainfall. I talked about the forecast at length here. And yeah, I think that played out very much like we thought. You know, I think the tornado warnings were prompted for areas to the west and northwest, and then they carried into Limestone County, which we did cover, and also into Lincoln and Giles County. Going to have some storm damage reports that are going to continue to mount throughout the day. When now it's daylight, we're going to have EMA start to see more of the damage. We're also going to go ahead and probably have the surveys done, and they'll probably have to update us on that as well. And yeah, I think, you know, we did one night of this. We did have a tornado Thursday night in Waterloo, too, on County Road 3. But we did one night of this. I think about what's happened to the areas north and west of us, especially from Nashville to Memphis to Little Rock. They've had not one, but 3 straight days where they have had tornado warnings. I saw a post. They've been trying to survey the damage from 3 days ago. They've gotten some surveys done there. But what happened is they've had so much severe weather that they can't even get out and survey the damage from like day 1. So they're now having day 2 and day 3 and day 4 of storms. Whereas we had that little isolated storm there in Waterloo Thursday when I was on air, and it did drop a tornado, EF 105 miles an hour by County Road 3, started in Pickwick Lake and went right up into Tennessee and just clipped northwest Alabama. But we had our storms last night, and we had like 1 day of it. I mean, they had areas west have been just inundated with severe weather for 4 straight days. And that's what happens when you get a frontal boundary that stalls out and gets stuck. It has nowhere to move. High pressures to the east, it's locked it in, and until that high pressure breaks down and allows a little kick there to get it, I call it a swift kick in the tush to get it on out, what happens is you don't have much in the way of any movement, and that's been the problem this week, is why this has been making national news for so many days. Has it ever happened before? Yeah, it has. I worked in Cheyenne, Wyoming one time and had a situation where we had 4 straight days of tornado warnings in Cheyenne. And it takes, I'm telling you, from a weather standpoint, not only are you trying to keep people safe, but it takes a lot out of you. You pour your heart into to keep people safe. So, but yeah, we good. Thank you all for the very kind comments. I do appreciate that. It was very nice of you. Also, thank you for all your updates last night when we were on Facebook. While I'm tracking the storms, it doesn't necessarily have to be a picture, but a real life, like, awesome update in your backyard. I live in Athens. I have heavy rain and winds gusting probably 40, 50 miles an hour. Boom, thank you. You know how much that helps us? It totally either verifies what we're saying, or if it's something different than what we're thinking, we can reevaluate what we're looking at on the radar, and it helps us inform you even better. So we appreciate that. We never want you to go outside during a severe storm, but if you can just give us an update and say, hey, look, you know, I can hear hail hitting the window. Well, we know that hail is probably pretty good size if you can hear it, especially if you're indoors in your closet or your safe place. So, okay. I'm going to run. I got to go. Chelsea's in tonight. I imagine, though, if they do surveys today, they'll probably not have the results until evening, but she'll be all over it. She's going to be in here this afternoon. She'll have the very latest on the forecast. Eric Burke will be back tomorrow morning. I get to hang out with him and do beep beep traffic. And he'll probably have more updates on what's going to be a beautiful stretch of weather after this rain moves out today. Besides some showers on Thursday and Thursday night, much of the 10-day forecast is dry, and the weather certainly looks like it's going to cooperate for about a week and a half, so it'll be good. And a lot of sunshine and a lot of nice temperatures, too. All right. Have a good one, everybody.